one of the reasons why Fox News, down to all of the right-wing independent media, have consistently attacked women. And if they can attack women who are young, they will do it. And if they can attack women, young women of color, they will do that too. I mean, AOC, just a way to set up this thing. AOC has greater name recognition amongst conservatives than she does amongst liberals. And there's a reason for that. It is because she drives their ratings in an incredible way. And, Janine Garofalo went through this, her era. And the other day, I get an email, maybe it was just yesterday or last night. I get an email from somebody at majorityreporters@gmail.com saying, like with Emma in the subject line. And it was something to the effect of like, I'm a longtime listener, or maybe they didn't say that, but they had this, and like, I can't believe the way she reacted online to the report about Rudy Giuliani getting COVID. And I was like, I had just had this conversation with Milo where I said, don't say in front of Saul, you hope he dies. And I look at it, and it was.
So Sam thought I tweeted
sure.
like I hope
I couldn't
Giuliani.
I couldn't imagine what the tweet would be that would elicit this type of response from somebody who had our email, right? Like, it's not like on Twitter. It's like, and I look at it, and it was the most fair-minded and accurate tweet about Rudy Giuliani. Here it is. And apparently you attracted the attention, Jenna. Why don't you read the tweet for everybody?
So
Emma?
I said the last few months for Rudy Giuliani, right? So this actually more accurately would probably be the last 7 weeks. But it just broke in the middle of Sunday by Trump himself that Rudy Giuliani has tested positive for coronavirus. So he gets caught allegedly undoing his pants in the Borat movie. That's number 1. 2, hosts an election fraud presser at Four Seasons Total Landscaping. Sweats so much his hair dye melts. Audibly farts in a hearing, which was confirmed by the Michigan State representative sitting next to him, I believe, and test positive for COVID-19. An icon, I say sarcastically, but also what a run. What a run. Jenna Ellis of Trump legal fame, I guess, even though I think her credentials are suspect, responds to me saying, imagine being such a worm that you'd actually tweet this. Just a depiction of what he did in the past few weeks. The left's glee over the mayor's COVID diagnosis is evil and despicable. So you are in the Trump camp, Jenna Ellis. Trump tweeted that Obama should hug Ebola patients back in 2011 when that was a deadly disease, or that he should, insinuating that Obama should contract it. So no leg to stand on there. And, is Rudy Giuliani's recent run quite funny? Yes. Did I really express glee about his COVID diagnosis in that tweet? No.
No, there is absolutely no glee in there. In fact, look, the idea that he is an icon or an avatar for the Trump administration, or 2020, or the last, or the Republican regime, I think is absolutely 100% accurate. I don't want to necessarily commend you for this, but it was completely a neutral accounting of Giuliani's exploits over the past 7 weeks or so. You didn't even include that his top witness was apparently involved in some type of what do you call that?
Revenge porn. Basically.
Revenge porn.
He sent videos of her having sex with this man to his ex-wife. He sneezed into a handkerchief and rubbed snot all over his face. Character limitations, unfortunately, prevented me from accurately depicting the run that Giuliani has been on, America's mayor, for the past several weeks, of just being an absolute meme god for anybody who's online. I mean, he's objectively ridiculous, and he's
but
like a gremlin come to life, and they're pretending like I'm supposed to weep and pretend like
do you
this
know
isn't...
Jenna Ellis?
Sorry?
do you know her? Have you had
I don't
any
know
interaction
her.
with her
No,
before? I
the
mean, they
tweet went
must have been
viral.
trolling around looking for someone who they could say this about. And here is this is Jenna
This is
Ellis
a
with the
funny. Jenna Ellis has been on a bit of a run herself. Here she's retweeting on November 22nd the Trump campaign statement saying Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. She is not a member of the Trump legal team. But only 3 days earlier, she was telling Rudy and Sidney Powell to release the Kraken. So,
well, I'm interested. I'm just interested in why they target Emma for this, because
Yeah.
it has unleashed a slew of bots. I mean, it's amazing. I've never seen someone attacked. The last time I saw someone attacked so virulently by people with like 22 followers, it was Mike Cernovich going after me. They have a huge bot farm they attempt to, and this it is. But the idea that they can they wanted to shift the story about this. Obviously, doesn't she have like 14?
Well, they wanted
cases
to play
lose?
victims. They wanted
Yes.
to play victims as if the left was hoping that Rudy Giuliani dies. I didn't come close to saying that. I never said that. It is a fact that Rudy Giuliani has been extremely vocal and a huge part of this Trump orbit and has been embarrassing them publicly in ways that you couldn't make up on a regular basis, including his hair dye sweating off of his face and him farting. Like, I'm so sorry that I made fun of that. If one of those things happened with someone in the Biden and Obama orbit, what would the reaction be?
Well, let's be clear. You're listing those things in the words "an icon."
Yeah. I mean,
I think
it's sarcastic.
It barely actually cuts across the idea. I mean, what would have been better if you didn't say "an icon"? If you just left it there and let other people determine, I don't know. I mean, but the idea that you were making fun of him in that tweet, I'm sorry, when the listing of actual facts about a person can be perceived as some type of like horrific attack, cruel attack, then maybe that person should reevaluate the way they've been living their lives in such a way that maybe when it's in print, it starts to look pretty bad for them.
Yeah. So I did respond to her, though, when I did more explicitly make fun of him. And I said, imagine simping for sweaty Rudy. You must love cousin marriage. Sad. But you know what? She called me a worm. Like,
yeah, no, she released the Kraken, and you just released the Kraken back at her.
Right. She released the worm.
She's been watching Jesus and Miro or something. Why is she saying worm?
I don't know. It's a little weird. But yeah, I got like a lot of messages. How do you look at yourself in the face in the morning? How do you look in the mirror if it doesn't crack under the weight of your own immorality? May God, lots of God people reaching out to me, telling me God's going to curse me, or may God have mercy on my soul.
I don't understand the physics of a mirror cracking on the weight of your own immorality.
I don't know. I think it's I think I would probably have to step on it for that to happen, but maybe, God doesn't apply. God's physics don't.
That would be actually pretty funny if you were the type of person who just like put all your mirrors on the floor.
Sure. But by the way, though, I understand none of this bothered me at all because they're such clowns, but it's a taste of how much worse women of color specifically get this. I mean, women in general, but women of color, like the vitriol directed at Ilhan Omar and Ocasio-Cortez, but specifically Ilhan Omar. I mean, this is a fraction of what these women have to face on a daily basis, and it's relentless. And it's just it's unbelievable.
There is no doubt that you can pick out that the right likes to isolate and choose specifically women who, and with all due respect to you, Emma, it would be equally bizarre in my mind if I had written something like that and I became the object of this is what we're going to leverage off of. Honestly, you can't find anybody else. They're going in and they're targeting women in this instance as their pivot point, because they know that Giuliani's fans, and if they want to try and make this about, feeling bad for Rudy and the disgustingness of the left, they need to target a woman to really get some mileage out of it. That's where it begins to like, because that's just the nature of their business.
Tried
model.
and true.
I mean, that's what it is.
They do it with Ocasio-Cortez. She's their cash cow for this very strategy. It's been effective for them. It drums up latent sexism or explicit sexism within their base. And then, of course, racism brought into those other issues. So it's just, it would be annoying, but it really was amusing me yesterday.
Well, I hope it got you some new followers.
Me too.